Hey there, YouTube friends. Mass Bandit here. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate it. Back in BroAcres Pumpkinpalooza for another episode here. The pace is strong thus far. Hopefully we can keep that up and keep the videos rolling. I love starting, as you can tell, I love starting new projects. The inspiration is running. I was talking to Mike Sheets about it and how it makes me happier and feel better when I have Planet Coaster ideas and stuff to get excited about and look forward to after a long day of work and everything. It's nice to have energy and drive and wanting to get things done. That's kind of cool. So anyway, you can see here we are working on a junior of the juniorest of junior coasters, the simplest of simple. This is something I thought would fit in quite nicely. I tried to make it very small, very tame, very mediocre, because I assumed that if any family farm was able to purchase a coaster, it would be something like this. The biggest issue I have with this is the station, actually. I'm not sure what it should look like. And actually, you can see I end up flipping the sides here because I thought using this open space here on the side would make way more sense for the queue. And to be completely frank, I'm not sure how much a farm like this would consider throughput and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't claim to be an expert in these things, but also going to try using the fence, the blank, what are they called? There we go again, the nature paths, there we go. Going to try using the nature paths and giving it some bright, goofy, over-the-top colors. And we're going to go one notch up from those super jank fences that we used in the last episode for the flat, and we're going to give a slightly less jank, but still jank, iron fences here, your standard iron fences. These would probably be permanent, but not nice. That's kind of my thought. Like they're not, like, potentially all the fence around the flat can be removed, but not here. It's not gonna do it for us. So yeah. So if you're curious about other games, if you're one of those people, I know most people here are for Planet Coaster on the channel. I'm fully aware of that. But if you are interested in the other titles, specifically Parkitect and maybe City Skylines and some of the other games, I noticed that I had been getting into, and some people mentioned it in one of our last live streams, or before our last live streams. Lots of different games have popped up over the last 6 to 8 weeks, and you might be wondering about some of them. Right now, my main focus is on Planet Coaster, and getting these videos out to you on a regular basis. The next and that's about all I'm going to say, is my priority right now is BroAcres, because I've got another, 3 weeks until Halloween, and I'd like to have, and this will be done regardless of how far advanced it is, on October 31st. I will do my best to have a video out on Halloween. Anything else that comes out on the channel will be just as I get to it, and you actually could probably expect not much else happening on the channel except for Planet Coaster until after Halloween. And for some of you that might be a great thing. Yes, thank goodness, back to what I really like. But some of you might like the other content. Someone commented on my Parkitect video, the most recent one, the episode 6, and that was from a couple months ago. And he said, well, I guess the series is done now. No, it's not done. I'm just not working on it currently. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that's kind of how I operate. I go where the inspiration and where the influence takes me. And right now it is all Planet Coaster, and I'm still dabbling in City Skylines. I actually have an episode of City Skylines sitting ready to come out, but I've been so busy building in here and getting these episodes together that I haven't had a chance to upload the City Skylines video. So that you can expect that shortly after this episode in a couple days. I like this stretching videos out every other day thing. I think that works quite well for me. It's a pace I can do as long as I'm actively playing throughout the week, which is easy to do when you're inspired. So as far as the other games, I don't know, might play them on live streams. Wednesdays are supposed to be live streams. Today's actually Wednesday, but it was a funky Wednesday, so I didn't get to live stream today. I don't know, like Parkosaurus is cute, it'd be fun. And Civ 6, I enjoy playing that. I think I enjoy playing it more off camera. Megaquarium is fun. I'd like to do that. But like I said, right now I want to be in Planet Coaster. So those other games tend to pop up when I have the time to do daily content and when I have maybe less strong of an inspiration in Planet Coaster. I don't know, maybe. So if there are other games that you've seen on the channel that haven't come out in a while, things you'd like to see. I know Airport CEO is surprisingly popular. Is that a game that you'd like to see back on the channel? If it is, let me know, and I'll keep that in mind, but I'm not going to make any promises. So, or titles coming up that aren't out yet, or titles that are cool that you haven't seen me play that you might want to see me take a stab at. What are some things like that? And again, I'm not going to promise anything, but just in case we get to a point where I want to throw another game in. But you can expect Planet Coaster and City Skylines more or less exclusively for the foreseeable future. And that will mean probably less uploads overall, but hopefully a higher production. So you'll notice here we are doing a bit of, we're doing a bit of tractor. We're making our hayride. Big shout out to Wings and Strings once again. And I neglected to include his workshop link on episode 1. I will be sure to include it in this episode because this tractor is all him. And I actually, in addition to the tractor being his, I'm going to modify it to make it more easily rideable for our pretend rideable, and I will actually borrow an idea he showed. He gave an idea on BroNation of how you could turn this into a rideable tractor, and so I am going to blatantly take his inspiration, his idea, and apply it myself. It's a little different, but it is basically, because I mean, why mess with the best? So just reverse engineered his picture, I guess, and made it work. So but he was kind enough to share how he did it, and so I don't feel bad doing it. I mean, I'm doing, as you can see, I'm building it, I'm modifying it. Again, he basically showed me how to modify it, but I like this idea. It's really cute. Like, you have this you can see, like, it would be this little thing that would this door, I guess, panel that would slide open or swing open like that, and then you would get up into it via stairs. I like that idea a lot, and it makes it just feel so much more realistic. Unfortunately, we don't have anything like this in the game that actually moves and transports people. There are trains in the game, but I think they're too big for something, a project of this size. Someone also mentioned the tram ride from the Studios pack, and that was definitely something that I was considering doing, but they look way too high budget for this kind of park, so I neglected to do that. So we're gonna go with the non-functioning diorama tractor ride. Like, this might be the most model-y of all my stuff as far as how well the people interact with it. This might have the least amount of stuff that people can interact with. But speaking of downloadable content, it was announced a couple days ago, the new DLC is the World's Fair pack. And that's pretty cool. It comes out next week, and already, that's pretty crazy that it's already out next week. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. It sounds like it's a heavy scenery pack, like there's going to be a lot of scenery dump. It almost feels like they're emptying out the cupboards, so to speak, in a way that, like, because they're going to make that Theme Maker's Toolkit, the custom scenery stuff. My guess is this might be one of the last scenery-based DLCs we see. And is the writing on the wall that it's the last DLC we're going to see? I hope not. I hope that they continue to develop and create more rides and more coasters. I would pay for an all-ride or an all-coaster DLC, or just an all-ride DLC. There are a lot of people that are upset that the Schwarzkopf, I probably said that wrong, but the classic looping coaster isn't in the game. There's a lot of people, myself included, that think chairlifts should be in the game by now. I think that's something that I thought Vintage was their prime opportunity to get chairlifts in the game. Kind of bummed that they're not in the game yet. That's one of those transport options that just, it feels like a total no-brainer. But anyway, I have to talk about this. There's a piggy. There's a piggy on the screen. I made some pigs. I actually made them off camera because making something with art shapes like that is a total trial and error process, and it's not something that I necessarily want to show off because I don't know if it's going to take me 10 minutes or an hour, and so I didn't. I just said I'm not going to show it. I'll wait till I have something that kind of works. And they kind of work. I think they almost look like pigs from a distance if you squint real hard. So anyway, we're going to make a pig race track because that just totally is something goofy. We've been to pig races at the rodeo here in Houston, and they had them at the pumpkin farm I went to growing up. They're just so goofy. I think they have them at the farm we go to here in Houston too. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, back to the DLC. I don't think it's going to do anything for this park. I'm not sure how much we'll get to use it. I don't even know what's in it. Who knows? But you could probably. I'm gonna continue with the Halloween project here, and kind of once it's over, maybe in November we'll look into using the DLC a little bit more, or maybe we'll just try and find places to use it in the already established Planet Coaster projects we have going. Like No Name Landia, we have to finish that at some point, and by we I mean all the bros. We need to finish this at some point. I mean it's like 95% of the way done. We need to get it done. Oh, someone also asked when is the next Bro Coaster coming out? When I edit it. Unfortunately, it's sitting on my hard drive, and I need to edit it. Editing a Bro Coaster is way more time intensive than editing something like this. So it takes a few days to edit one of those. I'll try to start that this weekend, actually, and hopefully it'll be out. I'm not going to say, and if it's not out by the end of this weekend, then it won't be out until next weekend. We like to release the Bro Coasters on the weekend so the most people as possible can watch them. So just be on the lookout for that in the next week or so. Hopefully that'll be coming out. And so we are continuing our little piggy area here. We're working on the little gate, I guess it is, the starting gate. And it's a really rough version. Like, one of the issues dealing with scale this small, like those pigs were a total pain in the arse to make. I went on the workshop to see if I could find some pigs, and I did, but they were like 3 archers tall, and I was like, nope. So to make them that small was really a pain in the arse, and you can see here we're gonna make him look like he's leaping over the little what are those, hurdle. The piggy is leaping over the hurdle. And so then I actually like that pose better. It looks more like a running pose, so we make all the pigs like that. And one of the things at Bankston Pumpkin Farm in Homer Glen, which is my main inspiration, they have this little shack where the pigs come in and out of. And it's this whole little thing. They have these 2 speakers. These 2 people come out and they give their little spiel. It's this whole little event, and they make a big deal out of it. And they do it's like a 10-minute show, and they do it a bunch of times a day. So this is kind of like the backstage area here. It's a really small little thing, and I guess they just bring the pigs in there when they're about to start or something. I don't know. So anyway, I like using the haunted house siding there. Makes it look a little more worn. I wish I could have done it for the front, but they have arches, not actual doorways. And then something's really funky with my water. It's very shallow. It's hovering. I actually had to use the terrain tool to raise the land ever so gently to get the water to go away. It almost looked like a glitch. Probably was a glitch, actually. I don't even know. So adding a little backstage pass with the terrain there to make it look like staff could go that way. And you can see here, this leaves this perfect area here to add some foliage. And it's one of the things I really want to make sure is in certain areas we have lots of leafy trees, both fall and not. Oh, I wanted to mention the trees here. You'll notice that I am nesting 1 green tree and 1 fall tree together to get like a partial thing. And it kind of looks weird in the time lapse. I think it looks better in real time. Who was that? That was somebody on Bro Nation did that. And I was just like, yes. And man, I didn't do my research, but I saw someone on Bro Nation do that, and I totally said I am using it in this park. It's a great way to kind of tone down the super bright colors of the fall foliage. Really good idea. Not my idea, but really, really good. So yeah, and adding another path there, a non-paved path, because it felt like a good place to put it. And then we needed some bleachers for our pig races. You can't just stand there and watch pig races. You got to sit there and watch pig races. And I'm so glad I remembered that we had these pieces in the game, because they made perfect bleachers for what I was going for. The corrugated, is that what it is? Corrugated, like bottom and then the small sign for seats, I think it worked quite well. I'm very happy with how these, and I wanted them to look temporary, like you could clearly move these in the off season. And actually, I have a lot of experience with risers. Not quite like this. As a music teacher, I have some music risers for my kids when we do plays, and they're a total pain in the butt to set up and take down, and they're not quite this big. They're only 3 steps. I think I did 5 or 6 here, and obviously these are a little more robust because they're meant for outdoors and all that. They're not meant for standing and singing on, but nonetheless, the basic idea is the same. So, actually, these risers are the final bits in this build, and I love how awful it looks with the chain link. But that is definitely something that they all have. They all have that ugly chain link fence, and it is gross. I was going to put railings, but I couldn't find any that worked well enough. If you remember the Surfside, I mentioned how ugly the in-game railings are when you angle them at all. I guess I could have made custom ones, but I just wasn't feeling it. Actually, maybe I should go back and use the posts. The posts might actually be, or the poles. The poles might actually be too long. I don't know. Either way, I think it's fine. They're not that tall. You just gotta sign a waiver when you go watch a pig race, I guess. We'll say that. You gotta you gotta sign a waiver to watch a pig race. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss anything we do here on the channel. Again, let me know, aside from Planet Coaster, what else would you like to see on the channel? Anyway, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see you real soon for the next episode of BroAcres. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.